The next guest I have the opportunity to introduce is another of the great legal minds. If you have a chance to meet Chad Williamson, founder of Williamson Law, today after he speaks, he'll come off as charming, kind, and even kind of cool probably, but don't be mistaken. When he puts on those robes and gets to work in the courts, he is a legal fighting machine. You've no doubt seen some of his interviews, heard about some of his work. Chad is a seasoned lawyer known for his strong sense of justice, compassion for his clients, flair for advocacy, and love of liberty. Born and raised in Calgary and proud of his Alberta upbringing, Chad brings accomplishment, cunning, and skills to all areas of legal practice. With a record of scoring impressive court victories in many cardinal, nationally recognized legal cases involving freedom of expression, freedom of the press, and the constitutional rights of Canadians. He fought for Chris Scott at Whistle Stop Cafe. He fought for Jesse Johnson and Without Papers Pizza, a massive win we just learned about the other day. He raced down to Coots to provide legal counsel to the truckers as they were doing their incredible demonstration down there. And when Justin Trudeau and the feds tried to keep us out of the leadership debate, guess who took them all on and won? Chad Williamson. That's just to name a few. So without further ado, let's give a massive welcome to Chad Williamson of Williamson Law.
Thank you guys so much. I'm always humbled when I get to hear John Carpe speak. He's got a keen, astute, and probably one of the most academic and passionate legal minds in the province. So I thank him for the wonderful words that he shared with us today. My friends, it's such a tremendous honor and privilege to be invited to stand before you again this year to engage in a brief discourse on the state of our province, the state of our country, the state of the law, and the state of justice. But before I begin, I'd like to give my most heartfelt thanks to Rebel News and the Democracy Fund, two organizations who, since their inception, have stood against tyranny and have stood for the principles of liberty and natural justice. Over the past couple of years, I've grown to know the folks both in front of the camera and behind the lens on laptops and control rooms, mixing boards, editing desks. And in the case of the Democracy Fund, guys like Alan Honer sitting beneath shelves of legal texts and behind computer monitors, fighting every day for Albertans and for Canadians with a vigor deserving of our highest praise and admiration. So on behalf of my office and the audience, thank you, Rebel News, for everything that you do in the struggle to keep our country sane during a time of unbridled angst, uncertainty, and insanity. So quickly, let's just put our hands together again. I know we've been doing this a lot today for all these tremendously hardworking folks. They deserve a whole bunch of heartfelt, resounding recognition from all of us. And a big thanks to all of you, obviously, for spending your Saturday with us and supporting such an amazing event. And I always chuckle when Ezra says that the only person in the organization that has a journalism degree is David Menzies. I put Rebel News up there above some of the oldest and most esteemed journalistic organizations on the planet. And I've, again, had the pleasure of dealing with a lot of the Rebel staff. What most people don't know is I have a journalism degree from Mount Royal in Calgary here. And I always tell Ezra, and he thinks I'm joking, but if my usefulness ever comes to an end as a lawyer, I've told him that I really want to come on staff and be a reporter.